Let's talk about the ugly truth behind the split of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm breaking it down in this video, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm an attorney, I'm an author, and a negotiation expert. I like to focus on narcissists. If you are looking to be more powerful, more persuasive, and have tips and tricks on how to do that, feel free to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Let's talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's a pretty explosive thing and volatile situation that's been going on with these two people who actually weren't married for very long. I want to go a little bit into the history of these two people, and then I think it's a really interesting situation because a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually file what I call ancillary actions to divorce cases, which is what this is, what's actually going on with these two people. This is not actually the divorce case per se. This is something else that's going on. And I think that especially for those of you who are dealing with narcissists, this is something that might be of interest to you. It's a different kind of a case, something else that you could potentially file if you want to have extra leverage or something else that you want to do. So let's talk about the history of what's going on between these two people, or what happened between these two people. Let's see. The key facts are, I guess they met in 2009 on the set of The Rum Diary, where they played each other's love interest. He split with his partner of 14 years in 2012. Vanessa Paradis in 2013. They appeared together during promotions of his movie, The Lone Ranger. In 2014, they are engaged. He is heard calling her as sweet as can be, that she's very good for me. In 2015, he married her. He was 51. She was 28, of course. In 2016, so that was February of 2015. They were married. By May of 2016, so like 15 months, she files for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, which is really just how you write that it's a no-fault divorce, basically irretrievably broken, irreconcilable differences. Like those are the terms that courts use just to basically say, I want a divorce. Apparently at the same time, she gets a restraining order against him, saying that he was abusive to her throughout the marriage. He denies the allegations, accusing her of trying to blackmail him into a better financial settlement. So they were married 15 months, and that was in May of 2016. We are sitting here more than 5 years later, and the battle rages on. Even if you're not very good at math, I think you can figure out that they've been fighting and dealing with this breakup way longer than they were actually married. Yes, ongoing ugly divorces between people, and especially celebs, are nothing new. Some of them play out in the public, such as like Brad and Angelina, for example. I have a video on that one, by the way, if you want to check that out, called The Real Reason Brad and Angelina Got Divorced. If you want to check out that video, you are welcome to do that. And, you know, for those of you who hate ongoing divorces and you just want peace in your life, give me a piece in the comments below. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, for all of you guys who just want peace, and, you know, there's a price for freedom and it's different for everyone, certainly no problem with that. But anyway, in August of 2016, like actually pretty quickly, they announced their divorce settlement. She gets $7 million. Not a bad take, by the way, for a 15-month marriage. And I guess she donates the entire thing to charity. Okay, they issue a joint statement at the time saying that their relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love, that there was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. They agree not to disparage each other in future. The divorce is finalized in January of 2017. Then after that, she gets involved with Elon Musk. What happens is that they're not supposed to disparage each other as part of their divorce settlement. But I guess she ends up disparaging him. She ends up saying things about him. So he goes on and he gets hired by J.K. Rowling to be in this movie called Fantastic Beasts. He is, to be paid a certain amount of money. And J.K. Rowling decides to let him go from this movie after a backlash of fans decide to, they're not happy about the fact that she's hired this wife beater. Okay. Because in April 2018, Britain's Sun's newspaper publishes an article saying that Depp is a wife beater. So he files a libel lawsuit against the Sun. He gets damages. In December of 2018, Heard writes an opinion piece in the Washington Post about domestic violence, doesn't name Depp. In March 2019, Depp files a $50 million defamation lawsuit over Heard's Washington Post opinion piece and claims Heard was the abusive partner. The lawsuit has yet to be settled. And so this is ongoing. This is ongoing between the two of them, and it's involving the Washington Post. She didn't actually name him, but she basically was sort of talking about him. And so even though this isn't actually part of their divorce, it's still part of their relationship. And what he's basically saying is, hey, I got canned from this movie because you're saying these things about me. There's damages involved here. I'm not getting work. I'm being labeled as a wife beater. This is not who I am. And I'm losing money as a result. And therefore, I'm incurring damages. And so, what this area of the law is actually called is a tort, which is a personal type of damage. And, torts are personal types of damages that happen to people, like battery, assault, that sort of thing, wrongful death, medical malpractice. All of those sorts of things are torts, personal injury. Usually you have to prove damages. And he's able to prove damages because he was let go from this movie and he actually lost money. So he's actually able to prove measurable damages. And that's a really, really important piece of damages. So what happens in lawsuits in divorce cases sometimes is you can actually add sometimes these tort actions as well. If there may be defamation, maybe there's an assault, maybe there's battery, maybe there's, I've seen it happen when there's, sexually transmitted diseases and things like that involved. So it's something that you might want to discuss with your lawyer, something that you may be able to add on to your particular case if you have a divorce action in place. But, it is definitely something that you would have to discuss with your lawyer to see if it's even possible in your particular state, country, or jurisdiction. But anyway, that is an interesting thing. It shows that even when people are divorced and been divorced for a really long time, things can still continue to go on and the scorched earth litigation can rage on, right? So Anyway, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Drop me a comment below and let me know if you have any other thoughts on this. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. And if you're negotiating and you want to grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep worksheet, feel free at winmynegotiation.com. And if you want to join my free private Facebook group at Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, come on over and join me in there as well. And as always, this is a perfect day to start negotiating your best life. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.